From Season 4 is just around the corner with an early 2026 debut, and I know it still feels like a long wait, so I hope today's theory update video from last October about Clara will hold you guys over in the meantime. There will be spoilers for Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of From, so if you're not all caught up, save this video and come back later. And for those of you that ask me to get to the point quicker in my videos, the overall new theory here is that Clara is a professional story walker who has been manipulating the story and what the characters have been going through the last 3 seasons. In the story that's already been told. You may be wondering, well, Julie can't change the story because Ethan was already pretty clear that story walkers can only see what happened, they can't necessarily affect what happened. But we know that that's not true because Julie threw the rope down to Boyd, so Julie quite literally changed the outcome because Boyd would have stayed down there and never made it out. Smiley would have never been born into Fatima, like all these things wouldn't have happened. So Julie clearly made a new version of the story and created it where everyone got further along. And I think Clara is the person who lost part of her mind. She is Eloise, gave herself a new name, went back and over again has seen how everyone has failed this cycle over and over again and is doing everything she can to protect Victor, and that's why recently he's been able to survive much longer than when he was just a child. But if Clara's been there longer, then she might have already experienced all the things that we've seen in the first 3 seasons and known how to change and manipulate them to protect Victor, because every time possibly that the cycle ends is when Victor loses his life. You may remember from previous videos I pointed out that when the voices were telling Sarah, take the boy's life, that they were actually talking about Victor, not Ethan. Basically, I made this video last year as a theory after episode 6 of season 3 came out because people were commenting all the time, Donna is suspicious, she's a mole, she's up to no good, and I argued that Clara is actually the one who is very suspicious and is lurking and up to no good in the background. I said that she was the reincarnation of Christopher, or she was actually Victor's long-lost sister Eloise. But now that season 3 is done, we know that she's not the reincarnation of Christopher because that's who Jade is. She is either Christopher's daughter. After he escaped, possibly, she grew up hearing the stories of his regret, not listening to the boy in white and helping Victor's family more, and now she ended up in the town doing everything her father couldn't. Or she is Eloise, who got lost in time and space story walking, and now she's trying to protect her brother, but she doesn't have much of her childhood memories, and being lost in time, like Julie was afraid of at the end of season 3, kind of kept her from aging as fast as Victor and his father did, which is why she's younger. Victor is the only child that survived back then, so the cycles have not reset. And that means that now that Jade and Ethan are in town, and we know that Jasper is the boy in white, and that Victor, Ethan, and the boy in white are likely 3 reincarnations of each other, and whether Clara is Christopher's daughter or she's Eloise, Victor's long-lost sister, it is clear that she has a connection to Jade/Christopher and the boy in white, aka Jasper, aka Ethan, aka Victor, because she's always checking in on Victor, especially after Colony House had the monster attack. She's like, Victor, I was so worried about you, I'm so glad you're okay. And even when he came back with his father from the caves at the end of season 3, she was like, oh my god, Victor, I'm so glad you're okay, before he took the axe to the tree and saw the boy in white for the first time in a while. And what made me realize this and update the theory for you guys is that I saw a TikTok edit with parallels of these scenes with, you know, Jade and Ethan and Christopher and the boy in white and Victor, and all these scenes are history repeating itself because the story not only repeats itself, you know, beginning to end with each cycle, but also in each cycle repeats itself in different ways, hence why there are multiple versions of Miranda and Tabitha's bracelet. Here you see Victor and the boy in white, aka Jasper, and Christopher, but then you also see the parallels between Jade and Ethan, and then Jade and Jasper. In season 1, we first met Clara when Jade took the bike away from her. The bikes are found mostly outside of Colony House in art sculptures and in the caves that Victor explores. She also had this crow bag. We know the crows are the eyes and ears of the town, but we'll get back to that bag in just a second. When Clara in season 2 episode 1 came to Jade and was like, oh, how's your theory going about this being an escape room? She was taunting him. She was upset because she got glass in her eye, because at the end of season 1, she was the character who pointed out the storm was coming, and when the light bulbs exploded, she got the glass in her eye, so she had an eye patch in season 2. Well, right before Clara pops up in season 2, Jade is seeing the Ankui symbol in blood on the wall for the first time, making a greater connection to his past life as Christopher. And then after Clara walks away, Jade sees Jasper, aka the boy in white, for the first time. We know that the boy in white told Victor at the end of season 3, don't chop down that tree. I can't help you guys anymore because Christopher didn't want to listen, so he's been taunting and tormenting Jade because Jade is the reincarnation of Christopher. So if the boy in white is buddy-buddy with Clara and trying to protect Victor as a duo, for whatever reasons and whoever may Clara be, then it is very likely that she also can't stand Jade, not only because of the bike, but because she knows that that's Christopher's reincarnation and that Christopher was not helpful in the last lifetime. Now, the bag of crows that Clara has can also be seen in one of Victor's drawings inside the Peach truck, and at the end of of season 3, when Victor and his father go to get Jasper from the caves, Victor's like, oh, the caves, like this room changed, it moved, it wasn't here before, somebody was clearly moving things around, setting it up as like a tea time to have tea time with Jasper. And then Victor puts Jasper in the truck right under that drawing of Clara that he has that has the bag from season 1 in it. So that is suspicious right there. Now the other suspicious thing is, was it Clara having tea time with Jasper in the caves? Because if she's helping the boy in white, who is Jasper, then it is very likely that he is protecting her from the monsters during the day in the cave. And so Henry finds Miranda's scarf. If she is Eloise, then possibly she had the scarf down there to remind her of her mother, because she holds her mother closer and she wanted some kind of semblance of her mother to remember her by. Or if she's Christopher's daughter, then maybe he told her good things about Miranda and she wants to escape one day and bring back something memorable to her father. Now, the interesting thing is that Clara drops off these yellow flowers for Tyne Chen at the diner and is like, I'm so sorry to Kenny when he comes in trying to process the grief of losing his mother. However, she didn't act normal about it. She wasn't like, Kenny, I'm so sorry. She was like really guilty, like she did something to cause this. And that brings me to the fact that just like she left yellow flowers for Tyne Chen on the counter in the diner, those same yellow flowers can be seen a couple episodes later when Victor and his father go to explore the cave and find the flowers on the table next to Jasper. Clara bothered a lot of fans in season 3 because she showed up late to the town hall meeting after leaving Colony House once Julie had arrived, and then without any context from Tabitha or hearing Tabitha's story, she started to instigate and cause a lot of rage from Fatima and the townspeople. Why would she be so against Tabitha if she wasn't aware already from the boy in white that Tabitha was Miranda in the previous lifetime? Because she wants people to doubt Tabitha, or she's upset, just like she is with Jade, that Miranda didn't do enough to get everyone out in the last lifetime. So she shows up late to the diner, she instigates Fatima and everyone else to, like, you know, have this further anger that obviously Fatima's baby Smiley is loving because he wants her enraged, which is why she takes out Tilly. Clara, once they got the cow meat, was like, oh, Fatima, you know, do you want some of this meat? And she's like, no, and she's like disgusted, and then she can't drink water and she tries to go and find something to eat and she finds a rotten fruit. So it's kind of like Clara steered her in that direction, on top of Clara being really protective of her and being like, Nikki, like, leave her alone, because Nikki was pushing Fatima out of the bathroom with her morning sickness. And then somehow Acosta shows up with Tabitha in episode 3. Clara is the first one to run to the door right after Nikki gets injured from Acosta through the window and is like, we have to let her in, she's a cop, we have to let her in. Unless Clara was looking out the window or heard it from another Colony House member, how would she know that that's a cop out there? And why would she be so adamant about letting Acosta in, who's just gonna fuel more rage from Donna, right? Maybe it's that Clara has already seen all this before and she knows things that we do not know, and she's manipulating things to her benefit to protect Victor. She left Colony House early because she made sure that Elgin and Julie found the 1981 Polaroid camera. Yes, I did research, it's from 1981. It's a specific Polaroid model. And the fact is too that after Elgin finds a Polaroid and the box of 80s clothes, there is in the next episode a scene where Clara is checking on Elgin and seeing how his art installation with the Polaroids is going. Right after she leaves, the kimono woman shows up again to Elgin in the photos, and the camera shows us that Clara's face is the only Polaroid image facing the camera, which is a big clue. It's almost like Clara guaranteed Elgin would find the camera that would give him clues to kidnap Fatima and make sure that Smiley was reborn, so that that would protect Victor and other people in the town, but mostly Victor. She made sure Fatima was turned away from red meat. She made sure that Fatima was not getting grief from Nikki and then Nikki lost her life. She made sure of all these things, like protecting Victor and making sure he was okay over and over again. And she's just so concerned with, you know, Fatima's pregnancy and with, you know, Elgin's project and with Victor's well-being. It's like those are 3 factors that had to work out perfectly for Victor to survive, I'm sure, which is what she knew from her story walking and experiences in the story that's already happened. So when I look at these images of Christopher, Jade, and the boy in white and Victor and Ethan, they're all connected because they're mostly reincarnations of each other, and Clara is the missing link. She is either Christopher's daughter or she is Eloise, and she has big stakes in these characters and their well-being while also tormenting Jade because she doesn't feel like Christopher did enough, it seems, and is working together with the boy in white to protect Victor. You may think it's Ethan, but it's actually Victor, who is the kid still at heart, that the town knows that if he loses his life, everything will reset upset, and the new lifetime reincarnations of Tabitha and Jade will have to start over again in the future. She is story walking and changing the story so that the boy in white and her can protect Victor because he doesn't want to help Victor anymore. They don't want to help Jade because he's Christopher. They're upset that Miranda was taken out so quick, so they don't want to help Tabitha. They don't believe in Jade and Tabitha. They want to figure it out their own way, how to save everyone. So it's Clara and the boy in white manipulating the timeline and the reiterations of the story, trying to protect Victor so that everyone else has an opportunity to make sure they get all the actions done that they need to finish this tormentous game so that everyone can escape one day. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I know that was a lot to process. For those of you that made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I try to be as detailed as possible, but unfortunately a lot of people want to have a 15-second theory video, and I just can't do that because there are so many details to every moment of this show that I have to cover and be faithful with. So let me know what you guys think. If there's other things that I didn't point out or observe that I did last year or that you've seen during your rewatches that maybe could be thrown into this, but it's definitely obvious that Clara is up to no good. She is doing everything she can to protect Victor, and it's causing ripple effects like Elgin getting his eye taken out and, you know, Tyne Chen losing her life. So she's making these sacrifices of other people that she doesn't know is going to happen just so that Victor can survive, and it's causing a lot of the story to go offline, which is kind of possibly helping the characters get further than they ever have before. I'll see you guys again soon for more updates to other theories as we wait for From Season 4.